Hello YouTube, I've got some budget price knives to show you today. Now these knives bear a very strong resemblance to the Ontario Rat 3 as well as the ESEE 3. Right? Big difference. The knives you see here are $20 each. I just checked Blade HQ today. The Rat 3 is going for $80 or more depending on model. And the ESEE 3 is 100 or more. All right, so these are budget versions of those knives. And, you know, this is pretty strange because these are from a brand called Elite Tactical. And you can see on the box it says officially licensed by the U.S. Marines. And even right here, all used marks are property of the United States Marine Corps used under license. All right, so that's, I mean, apparently these are officially licensed by the actual U.S. Marine Corps. Strange. All right, and from another angle, now the big difference between these knives and the Rat and ESEE versions is the steel, okay? This is 440C, all right, a less expensive stainless steel. So that is the main reason why these are so much less expensive. As you can see, they are drop points with full flat grinds. G10 handle scales on these. Here's a close-up. All right, it even has the black powder coat. Full tang, obviously. Now these are, you can see these are 3-finger knives. My pinky's off here, unless you choke up, in which case you can get your full grip on it. The choil here, the jimping there, you know, it's meant to choke up on for finer work. Lanyard hole there. And here's the other one. Now one strange thing, this orange handle one, it only comes in combo edge. They don't have a plain edge version, which is weird to me. And one reason that I got both of these, I'm going to switch the handle scales around, all right? And I'm going to explain to you why. To me, if you put orange scales on a knife, to me that means you're selling it as, you know, a survival knife rather than a military knife, okay? Because if I was in the field somewhere, you know, if I was a soldier, I wouldn't want, like, you know, high visibility orange. All right, so I consider this to be a survival knife, which is why the combo edge is really strange, because most people I know would much prefer a full plain edge on their survival knife. All right. And now if you have blacked out handles like this is more what I would consider, you know, military colors, just something that's going to not draw attention, all right? And, you know, I could see a combo edge more on this for that purpose because I don't think serrations are very good for survival tasks, but you could make a case that they could be good for various ripping and, you know, various tactical needs. In other words, it's like, why the heck did they, you know, these are reversed. I mean, it makes a lot more sense to have the high visibility on a plain edge and the stealthed out one on your, you know, tactical. So I'm going to go ahead and switch these and show you how it looks. Okay, I am back. Much better. You know, this configuration makes a little bit more sense to me. You got the orange one, which is your survival blade, plain edge, and you got your commando one with the combo edge. I would actually prefer plain edge for both of those applications, but as I said, you can't get the orange scales without the combo edge. So this is you know, the best mix and match option as far as I'm concerned. Here is the sheath that these come with. The belt loop here. All right, you got your MOLLE compatibility there. There's an extra pocket, you know, for a multi-tool. And it's this Kydex buckle closure. And this is a button closure retaining strap. You got this to lash it down. Alright, so that's the sheath. Does it hold it in? Yeah, pretty much. There is a plastic insert there. Alright, now the sheath is a little bit extra long compared to the knife. There, you see how much extra length the sheath has. So it is a bit bulky. Alright, but that's the sheath that you get. Alright, now how do I feel about the substitute steel, that 440C instead of your high carbons? Well, you know, they also have larger versions. Like, they have one of these that's like a copy of the like ESEE6. And as the knife gets bigger, as the design gets longer, it makes less and less sense to use the stainless, because you know, the longer a knife is, the more chance that you might be kind of chopping with it. And, you know, stainless will tend to chip if you're doing that. But the stainless makes a little bit more sense, at least for these small blades. All right, because I don't anticipate, you know, doing power chops with a 3.8-inch blade. All right, that is the blade length on these, by the way, 3.8 inches. And with that choil, the edge length is actually shorter, obviously. All right, so this video is really just a quick heads up to let you know these are out there. What do I think of these versus, you know, the real, or at least the more expensive similar stuff? I don't know. I mean, these are $20. I mean, it would have to be pretty bad to not be worth that. You know, I would say it is a fair price. I mean, they are worth the 20, maybe not much more than the 20. Obviously, if you can, you know, save up for the ESEE. I mean, I have an ESEE Hunglas. I have, you know, many ESEE knives. Definitely recommend them. But, you know, if you're buying this, it's because you're in a tight spot and you have to. As far as a tactical fixed blade, you know, a lot of people prefer a small fixed blade rather than a folder. I actually think that's where these knives would do really well, because for that application, you know, you don't need it to be stand up to chopping, batoning, and prying or anything like that. So yeah, I think they would kind of shine in that application. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more. Take it easy.